And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while. I haven't had someone so ridiculously beautiful in my show. The last time I've had, like, of course, I've had people in their mid 40s and all that, like random dudes reading poetry sessions and best-selling authors who are successful but not quite on the glamorous side, if you that mean. And it has been boring. It has been boring. But a cup of coffee a day and my self-esteem, I've waited. I've waited enough to get someone who could mesmerize the crap out of my audience here. And she has a story to tell. She has also met famous people all around the world, has like so many anecdotes that's gonna probably like make me jealous throughout this broadcast. Now, keep in mind that I am in India and she lives in Los Angeles. It's raining over here, okay? I pray to God that when it rains, the light doesn't go out because I don't have a proper backup. So if it goes off, I just want you to look at her pretty face and remember, I arranged this to happen. Yeah, thank me later, ladies and gentlemen. Thank me later. But I mean, what can I tell about? I just met her. What can I tell about her? What can I possibly say about her? I'm just mesmerized by her career. Yes, you heard it. Yeah, right. And then the text, she has been a literal playgirl. A literal playgirl. She met Hugh Hefner, for Christ's sake. Hugh Hefner. And she also met Donald Trump. And she also met Richardbranson. You know, it sounds like a ridiculous bucket list. But I am so glad that we are about to talk those crazy anecdotes. I mean, she has so many. Her story, though, has layers because she has been a playgirl, way back, but now she's an insurance agent, which is an interesting turn of career. We're going to talk about that as well. And for the pretty ladies out there, just take notes, right? And if you're too jealous, just don't hate. All right, just don't hate. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, peoples of all ages, I'm the greatest hype man in the world alive, presenting to you from Los Angeles, California, Madam Beautiful Deborah Driggs.
Wow. Oh my gosh, what an introduction. Okay, so I have to clarify. Yes, I'm Deborah Driggs. I'm not a play girl. I was a playmate. And there's a little bit of
potato.
Well, there's a big difference because Playboy had playmates and there was a magazine called Playgirl that had men. So when you say, so I was a Playboy centerfold.
So what's the difference? Because you were so in a I'm going to show it to them. Hold on, maybe.
Oh gosh, we're gonna go black.
Too soon?
No, go for it. Let's just start the party.
All right. Okay. I'm going to show it to them because they're not going to believe how what people are not going to believe how amazing this is. So I mean, I'm just going to show a couple of this is you, right? It's too zoomed though. Oh, this was you. This is back in what? 1990? Holy crap.
That is me, yes, in 1990, 30 years ago.
To be honest with you, I mean, you haven't aged a bit.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you.
And holy crap, like, oh my Lord, this is you. Tony Curtis' daughter makes it. Who's Tony? You're not Tony Curtis' daughter, right?
No. Okay, that's just me on the cover.
Okay, thank God. I mean, that would be another story then. Okay, with a couple of pictures as well. Damn, damn, Mr. President, Mr.
That's
President.
so that is now a collector's item because
This, I mean, this. I mean,
Who
if I would
knew?
sell this,
who knew?
could you imagine this though?
No.
Holy crap!
No, who knew? Who knew?
I'm gonna
that
I'm gonna ask so many questions about him you couldn't even imagine. All right, and hey, India loves Mr. Trump. I guess so. I don't know. Okay, we gotta have another picture about with you with Richardbranson. We're gonna tap into that later. My God, what a life it has been for you, huh?
It has been a whirlwind for sure. I'm super grateful. Playboy was one of those experiences that it's like the stories I could tell. You can't write this stuff, right? I mean, it's just, first of all, I didn't aspire to be in the magazine. And, there at that time in 1989, thousands of submissions a day from girls all around the world trying to get into that magazine. And here I am, a girl that lives in LA. I already had an agent. I was already modeling and doing commercials. And they asked me to go and audition for Playboy was coming out with a new book called the Lingerie Book. And they wanted me for the cover. And I said, well, is there any nudity involved? And she said, I don't think so. This is for the cover. And I go to the famous building on Sunset and I auditioned for this cover magazine. And then that
this
day,
one, the green one?
No, it was for a different book. It was called the Lingerie Book. And I left the audition thinking that it didn't go that well. And that afternoon I got a call that they wanted to test me to be a Playmate. And I said, I think you're calling the wrong girl. I think you're confusing me with somebody else at the audition because I wasn't there for that. I was there for the Lingerie Book. I may have the Lingerie Book. It's on my Instagram. But I mean, so who knew? I mean, it was a whirlwind. I will be eternally grateful for the whole opportunity. And now I'm part of history, because once a Playmate, always a Playmate.
I mean, I'm so sorry. I'm just mesmerized with everything that you say right now.
George Michael, rest his soul. Love him.
Next thing you're gonna say that you met him as well.
I did.
Oh my God! Come on, get out of here! Come on, really?
I met him when I was in Japan modeling in 1983, and he was on tour with Andrew Ridgeley. And they were in a band called Wham.
You know what, though? I mean, last time I had...
Go, get up and go, or whatever the famous song was. And so I went, we met them in Japan, of all places.
This trick worked so well last time when I had another model on. I was just like, oh God. But now, hey, how do you like it? I met George Michael. Oh, okay. All right.
I love George Michael. Yeah. I was a kid when I met. I was 20 years old and he was in Wham, and I really spent more time talking. He was very quiet. And so Andrew Ridgeley, his partner at the time, who he used to sing with in the band Wham, he was a little more outgoing and kind of indulged us, so to speak. We were kids. I was 20. We were like, oh my God, it's Wham.
George Michael's and Wham.
I met George Michael in Japan. I met Madonna's band. We didn't get to meet Madonna, but she was on the Who's That Girl tour. And then we met Rod Stewart and his band. And it was just like, because everybody was on tour coming in and out of Japan. And I was there for almost 6 months. So.
Well, this is great for my self-esteem. Well, we can call it like per se it's a podcast date. So I'm kind of thinking this is a coffee here, and then you get the mics over here. It's a podcast date. So
I love it.
Yeah, look, it's a date.
I have my mic. I'm a professional. I have a microphone. Okay.
So yeah, that's okay. But
I don't have my coffee.
You can take mine, but the thing is. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, it's official. I'm on a
A podcast
virtual
date.
date with a former Playmate
And
girl,
we're on
whatever the hell that
completely
is.
opposite sides of the world, and here we are having a
I don't.
live.
I don't even care. I'm in love so much right now. I don't even care. I would swim across 7 seas to come to Los Angeles right now. Oh my god.
Oh God.
Thing though, I mean, I don't know, like if Playgirl or like the
Playboy.
Hefner stuff. Playboy.
Playboy.
Okay. All right. Get it. All right. Correction. Okay. But I don't know if it is like the bunny culture. It's quite hit here in India. People do know it, but like Hefner's legacy is mostly he has this mystique that's mostly more American than anywhere else. You have traveled all around the world. You've been to Japan, as you said, Rao. Been to maybe to Canada or even the Spanish, Latin American countries. What have you seen the difference in terms of like culture-wise? Given the fact that your profession back then, how did people receive that?
Well, when I was a Playmate in 1989, Playboy at that time was the #1 magazine in the world. It was well received. It as a matter of fact, it was published in every country. So my issue was different in every country. It had an Australian version. It had an Asian version for all the different countries in Asia. So it had all these different versions. And so it was very well received. Now, I didn't travel so much out of the country during my time as a Playmate. It wasn't until later on in my life. And then I would go into stores just to see if they still, had Playboy on their stands. And always, some countries are different. Some countries you can buy it, but it's wrapped up and you can't see it. And other countries, it's right there on display. Every country is different.
Well, could you tell me a couple of stories about this particular shoot here? Because you look like flawless. You look like a goddess over here. Like,
thank you.
You're an amazing body. You have beautiful eyes. Your hair was done perfect. The outfit, well, whatever you call this, but it's in a sportswear outfit, monokini.
Yeah, they flew me to Chicago for that because we had a Playboy building in Chicago. That's where the original Playboy building started the company in Chicago. And so after I shot my centerfold issue, they flew me to Chicago to shoot that. I shot that cover with Stephen Wada. And, you'll see it says Girls of the ACC. So it was a college themed basketball jersey. It was the theme. And then the thing with the Playboy magazine is on every cover, they would try to hide the bunny. So can you tell me where the bunny is on that cover?
Yeah, it's in your hand, right?
It's the whistle. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So every cover, that was everybody would be looking for the bunny every month. And so they hid the bunny. And so, yeah, it was a whirlwind because my issue was the month before with Donald Trump. I was the centerfold. And then the following month I was on the cover. And then I ended up doing a show for the Playboy channel on cable TV. And I was the VJ for Playboy's Hot Rocks.
Wow. Let's talk about let me show that picture, the Donald, if you have. Okay, I got so many questions about this one. I mean, I did you ever think in a million years this dude over here next to you would be the president of the United States?
No. And by the way, I have to clarify. So I'm in this magazine. That is Brandy Brandt next to Donald Trump. She's on the cover of my issue. But by the way, she'd be more than happy for me to take complete credit for that because she is not a fan of Donald Trump and she sold all her issues of that cover and I bought them all. she'd sell them on eBay and I'd buy them. I'd go, don't even put them on eBay. Just I'll buy them. And so, because I think it's amazing because it's a collector's item. And nobody knew back then.
You were in the issue when the shoot was going on. You were at least present there, right? You saw the thing.
Yeah. Of course. And I've spoken to Donald Trump. I've never met Donald in person, but I've spoken to him a few times.
What was that like?
He's very nice. It was 30 years ago. It was very generic. It was, he was divorced and, hey, do you want to come to New York and meet in person? And my schedule just wouldn't allow it. And so, I was really young and very, very, I didn't have the maturity to fly to New York and meet a billionaire. You know what I mean? It was like, that just seemed like, what?
Thank God.
Yeah. And
Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many stories out there. You were in the Playboy mansion, so to speak, right? You were there
many times.
The stories are wild. Is that true? Like, is that really that sex crazy place that people call it? Like, this is all the action in the world happens there.
It's Disneyland for adults.
Explain that. Like, okay, now we got visitors there, right? People visit the Playboy mansion.
Yeah.
They need to have a separate section for that. But Hugh lived there, right? He lived there as well.
Hef lived at the mansion, and he loved it there. He loved the mansion. He had 2 full-time zookeepers. I mean, this was a 50-acre, beautiful landscaped property. It was just amazing. There was nothing like it.
Like when you I don't know. Is this an appropriate question? But like Hugh Hefner, like the mystique, the man, the legacy. Did he have?
He had all of it. He had it all. I mean, he was so smart. He was a genius, and he created something that was unbelievable. He was way ahead of his time.
Wow.
As he was always on the cutting edge of whatever was going on in the world. And, people would joke and say, oh, yeah, you have Playboy, you're reading the articles. But really, the articles were so amazing. And, there's my Instagram. So my lingerie cover is somewhere in there.
Uh-huh. Jesus Christ. I mean, you're
there
okay.
It is. You just passed it back up, right? Go one.
This one?
Right there. That's my cover for the lingerie book.
This one?
That was that's what I originally went in to audition for, and I ended up doing that cover 2 years later.
Jesus Christ. This was when? Back when?
I think that was 1993 or 94.
93. Oh my God. Okay, what's the did you meet now? You're gonna say I met Jello as well. I'm just that's right. Did you meet Jello as well?
No, I have not met J-Lo.
So talk to me about your family. Do you have a family?
Yes. I have 3 children. I have 3 children.
Oh my God, no! Really?
Which one, Boy George or Richardbranson?
Yeah, no, you don't look like a mom of 3. Jesus.
Yes, I have 3 adult children.
No,
yes,
that's almost heartbreaking. Well, now, not because you're a mom. That's a great thing. But what? Now this is you. Where did you meet? Where did you meet Richardbranson?
That's in 𝐂𝐴𝐴𝐿 in South Africa. That is his resort.
How do you know him though? Like, does he recognize you from the issues and all of that?
No, as a matter of fact, that's what's so interesting. No, I am involved with Virgin Unite in a more philanthropic way. And so I go on leadership trips where it's just 20 of us with Richard, and we look at all of the different
Oh my
innovative.
God. Seriously,
that's
mother of three children. Really? Oh no. What?
that's
But yeah,
19 that's 1983.
I don't give a crap. Holy shit. This is the kind of this is okay, there are girls that you take out on proms and there are girls you look at. Holy crap. Now I'm not even gonna talk to her because she's not even my the league that I am in. She's she breaks that shit. You must be back in high school. You must be out of everyone's leagues, right? And does that because a lot of people want to know though, from a man's perspective, right?
Yeah.
Let's say when you're innocent, you're so innocent back there. 20? You're 20?
I'm 20 years old there, yeah. Maybe 19 actually. 19 or
Okay.
20.
So innocent back there. Would you call yourself innocent?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
I like bad girl.
I was a very street smart girl.
Okay. When is this one?
That's 1985 or 86.
So in the 80s, we had the fitness revolution begin. I think
Yeah.
Arnold became a thing around that era. And I mean, female fitness had a different kind of connotation to even back then.
Yeah.
So how challenging was it to work on your body back then?
Well, back then it was a lot easier, because I grew up as an athlete. I grew up figure skating, and so I was a dancer. And so back then it was easy because it was just part of my life to work out. It was either cycling, surfing, or swimming, or I was doing something. It gets harder as you get older to keep up with your fitness, I think.
I mean, right, even now you look so fit. Do you do anything like hot yoga or anything of that sort?
I do yoga. I have a trainer, you'll see right there. That's I'm working out with my trainer.
You have the most this is I don't know, 70, what started. Well, I can't ask your age. That's so rude. But
no, I'm happy to tell you I'm 57.
57 years old and you have this skin. Jesus Christ. Yeah. What's wrong with you? What do you eat? Vampire's blood every morning?
I would if they told me that would help.
My God. Is this your daughter or something? Yeah.
Let's see. That's my daughter. That's my youngest. That's the baby. She's a recording She's a recording artist. Yep, she's recording music.
You have three children. Okay, so
a boy, two girls.
Okay. Oh my. Okay, this is the family, right?
Yep, there they are.
Jesus Christ. So what do they think about Mama being on
Playboy?
Playboy Girl. Shit, I'm screwing this up. A cover. Playboy. Let me write it down.
Now that they're adults and they have their own lives, they don't. It doesn't affect them. They don't care. I think when they started to realize, first of all, their dad, who my ex-husband, he was an Olympic gold medalist in the 1984 Olympics. And then then their mom was, I did Playboy and I was an actress. And so when they really kind of got a feeling for that, I think they were in elementary school, probably around fifth grade is when kids start to talk.
Huh.
And, people would say things to them like, oh my God, your mom was in Playboy. And because my ex and I did such a great job of kind of
raising them right.
Yeah, we encapsulated them. We didn't have that kind of lifestyle, and so other people would say to them, "Oh my God, your mom was in Playboy, or your dad was in the Olympics," and so that's.
Hold on. What?
That's
your
him.
Dad was in the Olympics?
Yeah, my ex was in the 1984 Olympics.
Doing what?
He was a gymnast, 𝐂𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐿𝐴𝐺.
𝐂𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐿𝐴𝐺, what did he win a gold or silver or anything?
Gold, silver, and 2 bronze.
Jesus Christ! I gotta have your Are you like, oh, you're not with him right now? He's your
No,
ex.
we're divorced. He's remarried and lives in a different state.
And you are?
I am no, I'm single.
Oh my God! Hey,
Hey,
welcome to
oh
welcome
hey,
welcome to the Latterman show.
I'm
Jesus Christ!
single. Yeah.
Revelation of the year, ladies and gentlemen. My God, look at the glow on my face right now. Why are you single?
I think, I think about that a lot. I actually just got out of a relationship, that I was in. It ended in November. And I think, the time that I put now into my book and into, I'm always kind of I'm very entrepreneurial. I love doing things and innovating and creating. And so I'm in a very creative space right now.
My God, I mean, could you please honestly tell me though? Like, I mean it in the most non-creepy way possible. Like, I'm only 25 years old. I look 30 at least.
What? You're younger than my son.
Yeah, I look 30 because the beard and the lockdown crap. I promise you, I'm a more handsome guy. It's just, I'm cast away right now. I'm cast away. But I clean up for another date, We will do something. Yeah. We'll take care of that singleness soon. Okay. But though, I mean, and this comes out of like everybody watching the show, every guy in the world. Like, let's say, okay, take a trip down memory lane. All right.
Okay.
You see a guy approaching you. All right. What's the biggest turn on and what's the biggest turn down when you see a guy?
Oh, that's a great question. So, a couple things that turn me off is I don't enjoy cigarette smoking. So I wouldn't. God. Yeah, I wouldn't be attracted to somebody who smoked. Or
I could 3 years ago. I take nicotine gum. Would that work?
Yeah, smoking. And this is so weird. This is like a weird fetish, but
really?
I'm very turned off by men who wear flip-flops. I know.
Come on.
I know.
No.
Yeah, I feel like don't show up.
That's like 90% of India, for Christ's sake.
I understand, but if you're going on a date, you can put on shoes and
on a date, of course, yeah. Not on a date, but like
also I don't
never flip flops.
I will never date a man who wears flip flops on an airplane. If you wear flip flops on an airplane, we're done.
Okay, fair.
It's
fair
like
enough.
for me, that's like surfer mentality behavior. I can't. So.
Let's say
these
if somebody...
these are turnoffs, and
okay,
I really am attracted to wildly smart. I like wickedly smart men. I like men that are just so smart that I have a hard time keeping up, because I have found through many years now that if I date somebody that's not as smart as me or can't keep up with my sense of humor, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because I'm very funny and witty, and sometimes people don't get my humor, and so that's a maturity thing also. So
got it.
I'm really into wickedly smart people. Mm-hmm. And then turn on.
I did take high school algebra and I aced it.
Well, you did more algebra than me. See, I failed math.
So, hey, the smart things, non-smoking things, ting. Flip-flops, okay, maybe, okay, all right. I'll burn all the flip-flops that I have. All right, next.
So I'm really turned on to powerful, smart men. I love when people think out of the box.
Okay.
And I really like an athletic mentality. They don't have to be an athlete, but I love an athletic mentality because that just means that they care about themselves and they take care of themselves. So that's why the smoking just doesn't work for me, because
fantastic.
It's so, yeah.
Well, yeah, P90X, here I come. What else?
I know him too.
Oh, really?
Tony Horton.
Jesus Christ!
I know him very well. Yeah.
Can you get him on the show?
Maybe.
Oh my God! I love you.
I could try. I love Tony. He's amazing.
You get a call tomorrow. You wake up, all right? You got a call. Tring, tring. Who's this? Oh my God, Deborah, remember the time we met back in 80s? Okay, I'm not the president anymore. Melania left me. Would you get back together? Maybe we could shoot another shoot. What'd you say? What would you say? What would you say? What would you say?
I would totally, absolutely 100%. Yes.
Damn, girl. Yeah, well, there goes the athletic part. But, oh my God, though. I mean, Donald Trump winning the election was like we felt the shockwaves here. We're like, holy crap! But the world is COVID. Not so much surprise. That one, holy. I mean, now you have President Biden. How do you find him attractive?
I don't.
I don't. You're a Republican.
I am.
Boom.
Yeah. But I will say this, that, usually in my case, I vote for the person, not the party. I'm more about who, what, and unfortunately this last election, I wasn't really into any of it. I just felt that it was kind of a shame that nobody else wanted to run. And so we ended up with Biden and Trump, and I just think that we have so many people out there that would love to run, but they make it really difficult when they're digging into the past now, like going back 20, 30 years into people's past and bringing up things that are just irrelevant, or keeping people out of the idea of running for office. Oh, all right. I lost you. Uh-oh, you must have really bad rain. Technical difficulties. We'll be right back. Hold on. Here we go.
I'm here. I'm just like, it's the thing. It's raining cats and dogs here. But I ain't giving up on you. I love it. All right, let's start talking about your journey from Playboy to what you are right now. You're an insurance salesperson.
I got into sales, and I had a big transition in my life. When I turned 40, I got divorced. I had no money. We were broke, 3 young children, and I really had no idea what career path I was going to take, because I was in the entertainment world. I was a model and an actress, and I didn't ever hold a business job, so to speak. And so I did several jobs leading up to what I do now, which is I sell life insurance. And I ended up with this job in the most ironic way. The company that did my insurance when I was married, I called them and said, hey, if I refer you business, can I get a referral fee? Because I was referring them so much business because they are the best. And he said, go get your license. And it was just that little nudge that I needed to pursue it. And so I did. I went and got my license. And the next thing you knew, within a year, I was the #1 sales agent, and kept that for 2 to 3 years. And so it was just the journey of, how did you go from being on the cover of Playboy to being in the top 5% in life insurance sales? It's not very sexy, but it's ironic. And what I think comes out of it, and what I share with people that I think is inspiring, is that you can start over at any age, and it doesn't matter what you did in your past, what you think you want to do, or, it doesn't matter. You can start over and redefine yourself, reinvent yourself at any age. And I was so fearful of that because I was like, oh my God, I'm too old. I'm too this, I'm too that. And really none of that matters. You can do whatever you want at any age. I'm 57 and I'm starting over and I'm doing things now that I thought, oh, I don't need to do that anymore. I'm too old for that. But now's the time to do it. When else would I do it? You know?
True. I mean, but one of the things that I've like always wondered though, like the people with acting gigs and all of that, people oftentimes say that these jobs are like so much gig based that you're unable to find the anchor. Like how do you settle down and how do you maintain your finances? I know that it pays well. But did you face those issues yourself because it was so gig based and all of that?
Yeah, I did. Absolutely. I really like being grounded because it really helps me, because I suffer a lot from depression and OCD and agoraphobia and things like that. I have these borderline disorders or mental illness that are in the mental illness category. And so for me, I need to be grounded. I need to have structure and I need to know where everything is. And so for me, I couldn't just keep running around from job to job. At some point, I was like, I think I need to feel more settled and structured. And so now that I've had that structure in my life, it's a little bit easier to go back to things that aren't structured. And I didn't know that about myself really until I was in my 40s and I started realizing, oh, I may have an issue with this that's untreated and unrecognizable, because I had always just gone for it and done it and kind of plowed through the suffering. And all of a sudden in my 40s, it kind of caught up with me. And I thought, okay, I need to take a look at this. So yeah, I think, a lot of people that are in the entertainment business, it's that kind of business, whether it's musicians, actors, models, where you're traveling and you're on the road and you're kind of miscombobulated and you're out of your comfort zone and you're in different hotels and different environments. And that can really mess with your psyche a little bit. So I know that this business is definitely one of those businesses that kind of perpetuates that, not feeling settled, not feeling structured, and to get grounded in this business.
You literally sell insurance. Like you literally sell security now. Not so secure pay wise back then, but in the 80s, what's crazy? Let me get back in the. God, I'm back.
Okay, there we go.
I look miserable. Hold on. Let me just.
I love it. It's raining cats and dogs.
Hello. I'm drenched in sweat. Did you miss me?
No.
You
did you go run in the rain?
Yup, I did. I was fixing the goddamn generator and all of that. There's a cyclone out there. Holy crap. There's a literal cyclone out there.
Well, you know what? That's what our weatherman told the world last night on our show live. He said there's going to be the cyclone coming. These hail balls that are going to be the size of baseballs. He was right. Frankie, you were right.
Be honest with me right now on a scale from 0 to 10. If I lose a couple of pounds, all right, how close I am becoming the next Playgirl cover, whatever it is, Playgirl cover.
First of all, it's Playboy.
No.
There's no
when the guy is on the cover and all of that.
Playgirl. Yeah, you have to submit your photos. I have no idea what they're looking for.
Come on.
You might be right. You might be what they're looking for.
Really?
I don't know. You have to submit a Polaroid. I don't know what to tell you.
You've literally been in the industry for how many years?
I'm not the one that chooses.
You literally spot a random model out there. Okay, you're gonna make it. You're not gonna make it. Golf.
Oh, that's
You
funny.
know.
Yes,
Hey,
they're gonna,
hey,
they're
hey,
gonna trust
hey. Do you
me.
want insurance though? Hey, do you want insurance though? That's a great idea, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
Let-
It's
let-
always a great idea.
Host a reality show or something like that.
Okay.
There's this, we
Let's
can
do
call
it.
it. We could call it model or insurance. It's, the ones who are rejected have to buy the insurance. The ones who got it actually have a modeling gig. Yeah, I'll be Simon. And you were so damn, it was nostalgic. I didn't get your thing, and your teeth were not good. I know I'm ugly. I'm British, for fuck's sake. This is great. This is so great. The Brits, they don't give a crap about their looks. They're intellectual, right? But Americans are like, yeah, I'm American, douchebag. Look at these muscles. Look at my skin. Jesus Christ.
Well, I don't know that we can label it generically, because I know a lot of beautiful British people, and I know a lot of really not so pretty Americans. So we can't really label it. Although I think that everybody is beautiful. I don't think it's all about the outside.
You think everybody is beautiful?
I do.
Really?
I do.
It's about the Zen and all.
It is.
When you found your husband, right? When you said, all right, it's time to settle down. All right. Who proposed?
He did.
Of course he did. Yeah, he's dead. Are you kidding? Of course he did.
He did. Yeah.
The world would propose to you. So what happened?
So he proposed and we got married in 92.
Okay.
And our son was born in 93. And I had two daughters.
Tell me about the proposal though. How did you propose?
He showed up to my place where I was living in Los Angeles, and he said, "I think you're the woman I want to marry."
That's it?
Yeah. And I said, "Wow, that's my son."
Oh, really? Oh my God, he's a handsome dude. What does he do?
He is right now. Because of the pandemic, he's trying to find work. But yeah, he's a creative. He'll figure it out. That's my ex.
You and the husband?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was right before we got married. We did a photo shoot.
This guy looks like he could go to. I wonder what he looks like right now. Like, I don't know, but
I don't either.
Really?
That's us on a cover. You passed it.
Which one?
And right
this one,
there.
yeah,
we're on the cover.
This one I showed, right? So, holy crap! I mean, I don't get it. Like, tell me though. I mean, does this work now? Let's say you were, back in your 20s, and a random guy comes up to you. No, but you were friends, right? Before you were friends, your husband.
Yes, I was friends with him for a year before we started dating.
Okay, dating advice 101.
Yeah.
How do you become friends with a girl and then start being serious?
Yeah, my dating advice is absolutely you should date somebody for at least 90 days before you decide to be a couple or dating. I hate to use the word exclusive, but I think you should date for 90 days, and you should date. And when I say date, you're not staying with each other, like living. Now everybody kind of shacks up right away, and it's not a good idea. So you date for 90 days. You have proper dates. You get to know. It's like you wouldn't just become partners in business with somebody. You would interview them and look at their background and look at their resume and look at their life before you.
Did you just say interview them?
Yes.
Okay.
Before you did business with somebody, if I was going to go into business,
if I for 90 days, if we keep having this, we could actually ask you out for real.
Yeah, because think about it. Why would you jump into something where you don't know anything about the person? Why do you want to find out after the fact? It's like you marry somebody and then you find out that
True,
I
but there's
didn't.
a
I guess
twist
I should
here.
have.
True, but there's
You
a
might
twist
want to
here.
do.
COVID is fucking things up, right? So how
Yeah.
do you get to know? Like, how do you get to know people? This situation, this.
You have to Zoom date. You have to
Zoom
get
date.
creative. You have to Zoom date. You have to be innovative. You have to create. Yeah, that's the thing is you have to do your due diligence with business, with life. Why wouldn't you do it in a relationship? Why wouldn't you do your complete due diligence and make sure you check off all the boxes? This is exactly what I want. I think that the reason why we have such a high divorce rate is because people never take the time to do due diligence about the person they're going to spend the rest of their life with. That's a big decision. That's a big decision.
Is that?
And by the way,
what?
People will marry somebody even knowing with a little insecurity. Like, I mean, I don't know.
You sound like I know you look like even in 20s. Yeah, sometimes though, people look at beautiful people like, oh my God, what a douchebag. She might be like a bitch and all of that. But you like, were you like this back in 20, like, oh, I like the person inside and they're like the sunshine and all that and the zen and the nice person? Because yeah, there are beautiful people who are like that as well. But there are a lot of douchebags like, I'm just only eating asparagus, oh my God. And those kind of people as well, right? So I just want to ask you though, were you like this nice back in 20s as well? Or did you have a revelation in the moment and then it's like, now it's time to just...
Well, first of all, I don't really look back. I mean, I'm 57. It's hard to go back and think about what I was like. I'm not even close to the person I was in my 20s. I would hope that I have done some growing and some maturing. And I was very immature in my 20s. Immature, impulsive, didn't really think.
Describe that.
Well, it's just what I said. Immature, impulsive. That combo is dangerous when you're in your 20s because you're making decisions with a very non-mature idea of anything, and then you're doing it impulsively. Mm-hmm. And you're just running around, not really thinking anything through, just, what I would call being spontaneous, which is great. It's fun to be spontaneous, but at some point it's also very immature and it's not thought out. Right. And so now, obviously I'm in a different place. I don't rush to go and jump on an airplane now. I don't rush to make a decision. Everything now is thought out. And I do it even with the small decisions because that is practice. Because when you're doing it with small things, then you're going to for sure do it with the big decisions.
We have a comment from our YouTube. Someone ask Deborah if this feels like you're on Letterman.
No.
Come on!
Letterman's not that nice. You're much nicer.
Suck it, David Letterman.
Damn, yeah. Nice. I think sometimes he can be really hard on his guests.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he was in India once. I was in the same city. I was in college, and I used to I'm a huge talk now. I was actually doing journalism there. I was like, Letterman is in India, and he is in Delhi. He is in the metros. He's writing down a little. I was like, what? Oh my God, I gotta go see it. And no, there were so many people trying to see him. Like he is. Oh my God, he's like one of the best talk show hosts out there. Who's your favorite talk show host?
My favorite talk show host. That's a very good question. For a long time, it was Ellen.
But now it's me. Come on.
It's not Ellen anymore. It's a really tough
Come on.
question.
I know. You just can't take my name. Come on. It's okay.
You're a podcaster. That's a different category.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the talk show. That's what I say to myself in the mirror every time I go to sleep. Come on.
Yeah, but Oprah will always go down as she's the badass. Greatest. She's badass.
Boom. Absolutely. Let's have a couple of more questions. One question I want to ask
Yep.
you though. Have you like when you talk about anti-aging, yeah, we talk about that a lot.
Yes.
I wanna ask your top 10 anti-aging secrets.
Okay.
What do you do? What do you do?
Yoga. Number one.
Yoga.
Number one on my list. Yoga.
Boom.
There are so many great poses in yoga that are actually anti-aging poses. So yoga is number one. I've been doing yoga since 1994. Thank God I found yoga. I actually got certified to teach yoga if I want to. But that's my go-to for everything. It's a very good grounding practice. I stay out of the sun, number two.
Okay.
So
that's great.
if I go in the sun, I wear a hat. I keep my face and my hands and this part out of the sun. No sun for Deb.
And
All I got was and then the hailstorm came. Yeah, so staying out of the sun is super, super important. And really it's my number three is to have a daily routine. So in the morning, I wash my face and I put on a serum. And then I do that before I even shower, just so that the serum can really work. And then I take the shower and then I put another kind of moisturizer and sunscreen on my face. And then at night, I do a routine where I do the whole washing and I definitely use eye cream. And then I internally take a lot of supplements. So that would be number four, taking supplements that are geared towards anti-aging. And really diet and exercise would be number five. Diet and exercise, anybody can do. Staying out of the sun, anybody can do. A daily routine of washing your face, anybody can do. There's great products at CVS or Walmart or Walgreens. It doesn't have to be these expensive products to have a good result. I mean, there was a time in my life where I couldn't afford those products, so I had to use things. I had to be really conservative with my products. So it doesn't have to be really expensive. People always ask me, what do you use? Sometimes, I use Cetaphil to wash my face, so you switch around. I walking in nature, walking on the beach. Again, anybody can do.
Yeah.
When I talk about anti-aging, people go, well, that doesn't, because I also do other things that maybe not everybody could do, but most of my list are things that everybody can do. And if you do them, you will see a difference in your skin, a difference in your appearance. Never smoke, women especially, never smoke. That'll age you overnight. What else can I say? Meditation and prayer and mindset can take light years off, because stress and worry shows up. I meet a lot of people and I can tell just in a conversation if somebody's worried, if they stayed out.
Do I look worried?
You look like you just went out into the hailstorm and you had a fight with a bear. You slayed the dragon. Yeah. You slayed the dragon.
Well, yeah. The bear's name is Richard, and I just fucking punched the shit out of him. And yeah, there you go. But
so anti-aging is super important, and I blog about stuff that I do all the time on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram at Deborah Driggs,
I've shown him like 25 times now. Go ahead and follow, ladies and gentlemen.
Follow me. Yay, it'll be so much fun.
But you know what we're gonna do though? We would love to have you again.
Yay, I would love it.
And again. and follow that 90-day Zoom call shit that you
There we
talked
go.
about. There
Gotta
you go.
put the work
Plan. It's a
in.
plan.
All right.
It's a
You gotta
plan.
put the work in.
Absolutely. But you have to go somewhere now. Where are you going?
Well, I'm preparing for a meeting. I have a big meeting at 1:00 and I have a lunch before that. I am
Great.
launching my website this week.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I know a guy who can promote a website.
Well, great. I would love a little promotion. Thank you.
Absolutely. You get
Little
a pal
focus,
in me.
people. Little focus right here.
There you
Little
go. And
focus.
that's how you close a deal, right, ladies and
Okay.
gentlemen?
That'll get me
All
back.
right.
I can promote your show. Okay, I'm back.
Deborah Driggs, my
Thank
date
you so
for
much.
today, through the hailstorm, through fighting bears, and but it's
Slaying
worth
dragons.
it. I would do anything to be on the show again and again. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
Deborah Driggs, everybody.
Thank
Deborah
you.
Driggs.
Thank you, everyone.
You're genuinely, I just want to say before I part though, I'm gonna be solo now. You have had that beautiful face. What's so like her? Listen, all right. She is beautiful, mesmerizing, nice, and she apparently has 3 kids. I don't know how does that equation work. What? But she's single. Hey, we're gonna have an interesting talk later and properly figure out an audience for her on our future broadcasts. But for now, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you on the next episode.